sick. I gotta go to work. And I've only had one day back. How ridiculous is that? But listen to this voice. It's like talking through razors. I need tea. I'm fine, it's just a cold. But there's no way that I'm passing it on to everyone. Or can do anything. Because my head is full of razors. Move really slowly. Do you like my Harry Potter fake knitted Weasley jumpers? I'm sleeping in all of them. Okay, so I've spent the whole day weaving. All day weaving. My throat's a bit better. My head is still sore. But I've done nothing but, actually I've not been able to do anything but sit down and lie down on the bed, watch Beans ruin everything. He's on the stairs, he likes to hop up and down. And I've been trying to hide this from that all day. Okay, you know what? Little tiny paws need to not be there. And I finished. I literally sat down and just did a whole, so how long should it be? I warped it from the end of that table all the way to that doorknob and back. So that distance, probably about 2 meters. So this scarf should be about 2 meters long. And I'm just about to whip stitch it, or to, if, you know, Mr. Beans doesn't get distracting. He's so elegant. Look at him. He'll fall over in a minute. So cute. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing all day. So my plan is, I had this warp, which went from white to this teal, and then I have a bit of the warp left that goes darker, and then I have a really dark one as well. And I was thinking of making 2 or 3, depending on how many warps I have, how much warp gradient I have. Thinking of making 2 or 3 of these 2-meter strips, and then I could join them together like a tunic-y type thing. I'm thinking, you know, sew them together to make an actual garment. Like, that would be super cool. So, Mr. Beans, you're fine. Stop tricking everyone into thinking we never feed or love him. He's a liar. Don't listen. So, yeah, James has been home and he's been delivering me hummus and fruits and vegetables and good things, tea mainly, all day, because he's very nice, and also he has a day off. And I've been drinking out of my awesome Remembrances pottery mug. So awesome. So I'm using its positive energy to help me out here, because I got to get back to work tomorrow because I'm on nights. So I'm really glad I took this day off, even though I have this horrible guilt all the time whenever I take time off work, because I'm like, I'm sure I could just be doing something, anything. But really, no, I felt awful all day. So, okay, Mr. Beans. Mr. Beans camouflages with the couch. So sometimes we can't find him because he's asleep in the couch. We need to get lighter furniture. But then his hair would show up on the light furniture all the time. I think we've made a good decision getting a dark cat and owning dark things, because you can't see how pretty it's gonna be. So yeah, I'm gonna have this scarf finished today. I warped it last night. It's incredible how fast weaving is. I really should be working on I'll make some match sweater, but I'm getting really far on that too, because it's oh yeah, I don't know if you've seen it. Now the light is terrible, I'm sorry. But at my uncle's, at my granny's birthday, I was able to fade in the second colour. So I'm doing a fade over about 6 stitches. So, and I'm doing 2. So 1 over, 1 back, and then I switch 1 over, 1 back because I'm knitting this flat because it's a cardigan. Beans, stop it. Yeah, but it's working really, really nicely. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off tonight. We've been watching The Expanse today, and then we also watched. It was a Mindhunter episode, Mindhunter, like about the Unabomber, which was really good. I don't think it's a similar kind of atmosphere to Mindhunter the series, but then this one was specifically about the Unabomber, which was super interesting. I'm gonna play with beans, finish off the stitching on this, and then cut it off the loom, and I'll show you if I make it. If I don't make it, I'll show you tomorrow. Bye. Hey, Mr. Beans. Mr. Beans, what are you doing down there? In my loom. All up in my loom. What's... You just push this out. I want that in. He's like, I must kill it now. Mr. Beans. I should stop this, but he's so cute. Seal of approval. Thanks, Mr. Beans. It's time to finish. Quality control. So, I've just done a cute little whip stitch. You probably can't see too well, but it's a nice thick whip stitch because if this is going to be on the end of my garment, I do want it to be super tight. And then I wove in the ends by just bringing it down along the side there and just cutting it off. So, I think so. And now I'm just about to cut off these little bits. So let's have a little. I only have tiny little scissors, so I need to get more efficient scissors. Well, that's with me at the moment. So here I go. Such a small little scissors. Does the job, sure. There we are. This is the end of my scarf, and I'm just going to disconnect here so I can reel it off, and we'll see how long it is. Ooh. So I wanted to do a warp lead. Is that the right terminology? A warp lead weave, so that the warp was what showed more than the weft. Is that correct? Yeah, weft is the sideways, warp is up and down. So I wasn't bashing down the hammer too hard. Here you can see I was pressing them too tightly. Is it pizza time?
Yes.
Yes, but I'm just explaining about the warp lead and the not so warp lead. So here I was bashing down not bashing, but like I was pressing the beater, which is also the reed in this rigid heddle. I was pushing it down too tight, and so the black was coming up too much. This is hand spun brown kind of blacky merino that I was using. And now I've come to the end of that. So that's how long it is. Oh my goodness, it's so long. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Weaving is the best. Love it. I've finished. And I've decided I'm not going to twist the ends on this one. I quite like the loose fringe. So, but isn't it pretty? Oh, I do love it. Oh, it's the prettiest. So the black is the Australian merino that I got fresh off the sheep. So it is a bit, when I was weaving with it, my hands felt a bit dirty. So I've popped some Eucalan in warm water here, and I've popped just a little bit of degreaser, which is just a washing up liquid, just to get the final bit of grease off of the fleece. And in it goes. long, this thing. So I'm just going to leave it in there. The colour of the blue might seep. It did, I remember it's seeping a little bit when I was setting the twist. So we'll see how it goes. Love and stuff.